Sometimes the vlog isn't as happy as it seems to be.
Just like life.
This is the first time, actually. Usually we do get a little frustrated because we get tired of filming because it's tedious. But this is actually really sad.
Hey guys, today we are going to talk about what do you do when you mess up. All right, Fran, what do you do when you mess up? First of all, what are like the initial feelings that come to your mind when, oh dang, I just messed up? Boom.
Something that I've noticed in myself is that I tend to put the action of messing up, and I translate that in my mind as failing. And sometimes I tend to put the term failure as my identity. So I start to believe that, like, not to the extreme of I'm a failure, but all I can do is mess up and fail. That's usually the initial thing that goes through my mind.
Dang. What about you, Joe?
I tend to be I'm actually very hard on myself most of the time. If I mess up, I usually feel kind of, I don't know, I beat myself up over stuff that I do wrong. Yeah. So that's like the initial feeling is like, man, because I think something I'm always trying to seek after is people's approval. And so like if I mess up, I'm always like, man, well, there goes that. There goes what I'm chasing down, it seems like.
So like you made all this effort, and then once I mess up,
like I it's kind of like an all or nothing deal. That's how I tend to think of it. It's like, oh, I mess up one time and that's it, the relationship's over, like they're not gonna accept me anymore.
What about you?
Same thing. The initial feeling when I mess up, like for some reason, I feel like a part of myself just shuts down, and just like all of my energy just focus on what just happened. I'm like, I messed up, I suck, I screwed up. And I feel like I pay attention more than I'm supposed to it, to where it turns into me like magnifying it rather than, hey, I'm forgiven, and maybe the person doesn't even think it's a really big deal. Yeah.
Like I think we make our mistakes bigger than what they are to other people.
Yeah.
That's so true. It also depends on what type or like what you've messed up in. Like if it's something personal or something that you like did to someone else. I feel like it really depends on how you handle it.
That's true.
Because if it's something that you did to someone else, at least for me, it's really easy for me to like just ask for forgiveness. I have to sit and process it first and kind of have like an explanation for them and giving them context as to what I did.
Yeah.
But then if it's a personal thing, it's so much harder because sometimes you're your own enemy, like you're the hardest critique over yourself. So it's harder in that way to like control your emotions.
Yeah. So it seems like we get to this point of realizing, okay, shoot, I messed up. Like I'm the worst person in the world. Like, oh no. Like obviously you're not. But you get to this point of realizing that. So how do you get past it? Because like you can't just stay there. It'll eat you alive. So like what's the next step that you will usually take depending on what it is?
I think it's really just understanding at the end of the day who you are. We're humans. We mess up. I'm a child of God. God forgives me. And if I walk around acting like I'm not forgived, it's kind of like, going against what he believes in me.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're forgiven." I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like,
Yeah.
whoa, what's up, bro? Like, he's like, "You are."
Yeah.
So that's kind of saying like, "Hey, I don't believe in what you think of me."
I think when you're doing that, you're playing God. You're saying, hey, my word's more powerful than your word. Or like, what I think about me is more valid than what you think about me, even though you created the mind that allows me to think of this about myself. It's crazy. And then, so I think it's like realizing that first, like, you're still loved. And then I guess for me, which is like the part I have the hardest time with, honestly. Then the next part is like going and honestly, like, if you need to apologize, apologize. If you need to make it right, make it right. Like, I don't know.
In a sense, like, if you're hard even to forgive yourself and remember how God sees you, you're trying to control the way that he sees you. And it's not him seeing you anymore. Like, oh, something that we learned today in our second year class is that we are responsible in stewarding our attitudes well.
That's good.
So when you do mess up, you have the responsibility of not only just making the right decision if you mess up towards a person, like apologizing, but also to manage your own attitude.
How do you manage your attitude? Like, how do you
Right.
shift your, like, I literally, like, it's so hard for me if I'm in, like, a bad attitude to shift it.
Same.
Like, it's almost like I can't.
To commit them to God. Like, are you committing your attitude to God? Like, are you aligning with his word in how your attitude should be?
Yeah.
And then second, I would say the words that you speak over yourself, because that plays a huge impact on your attitude. Like, what are you speaking to yourself?
So, hey, it's been a good day.
When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things you took from me, I know that I am so much better. When I look at what I've done, now that we're apart, when I look at what I've won, I've come so far. I know I'm so much better off, and baby, you don't belong. I could feel it in my bones. There was something going on that
The definition of what it means to be trolled.
I think the definition of troll is like you get lifted up, like, oh my gosh, there it is, boom.
Oh.
Yeah, like for instance, when I was DJing, they're
Yeah.
expecting something and you just troll them. Like I have a cup and
That's messed up.
I have an apple in it. I'm like, here, look, you want some apple juice? And then I show it to you, it's an apple and cup.
And a paper that says juice on it.
Yes, that is troll. Straight up troll.
So it's like scheming?
I'm saying.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's like a cross between sarcasm and trickery.
That's what I do all the time.
Sarcasm and trickery?
Yeah. You guys know the definition, or like, you know that slang where it's like scraps? Like, people are scrapping outside, or they're scraps, like fighting.
Like the fighting, yeah?
Yeah. So one time, in my neighborhood, it's like kind of known for like just random people started fighting in the middle of the streets.
What?
So it's like, but every time when that happens, our family just goes, if they need help, or if it's someone that we know, if it's a problem that we can help solve or something, or people are getting hurt, or just action, So one day it was like 12 o'clock at nighttime, and I had a whole bunch of paper and I ripped it up. I ripped it up and I put it in the alleyway, and I was like, guys, there's a whole bunch of scraps happening, and they all just sprinted down and followed me, and I picked it up. I was like, look, and they're like, they're about to slap me. Scraps. Yeah. Troll, man. I'm so good at that.